Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Valentine's Day is coming up, so I thought that I would have the ultimate Valentine's themed self-care day. Basically a day doing all of my favorite things. I love to romanticize all the moments big and small, but I especially love the holidays. Valentine's Day is actually one of my favorites. It involves hearts, it involves pink, it involves all things girly, flowers, chocolate. It is the perfect time to have a self-care moment. So whether you're single, whether you're booed up, whether you have a bunch of Galentines you're celebrating with, I am a huge advocate of taking a moment to celebrate yourself. We have a full agenda today. As I said, it is gonna be a day full of Bonnie things. So we're gonna do a craft, we're gonna go to the bookstore, we're gonna take ourselves on a cute little date. Maybe we'll take a bath, maybe watch a rom-com. Today is all about self-love, and hopefully this will inspire you to take a moment to celebrate yourself. Okay, let's get the show on the road because I am so excited.
You're so cute.
In celebration of Valentine's Day coming up, I am working on a craft today where I am making a love letter box, which is essentially going to be a affirmations jar. I found this little heart-shaped box from Home Goods, and I thought it would be perfect to decorate with tissue paper and various pieces of scrapbook paper. For this craft today though, I am just following my heart, no pun intended, to decorate this box however I please. I decorated mine super girly. Yours doesn't even have to be in the shape of a heart, but it's just a little jar that will be perfect for writing yourself your own love letters. After decorating my box, I sealed it all with Mod Podge, and then after it dried, I added these really cute little bows because I am actually kind of bow obsessed. I thought of this idea of writing mini love letters to myself as a way to help reprogram my inner thoughts and as a way to remind myself of all of my strengths. Here is my finished craft. I love how this little heart letterbox turned out. I thought this would be a fun way to be a bit more intentional about doing affirmation. I think it's so important to stop and give ourselves a compliment from time to time. This box turned out so cute and I had so much fun making it. I think it will encourage me to stop and take a moment, maybe read some of my old affirmations when I'm feeling low, and hopefully just help to improve my overall relationship with myself.
I'm hushing the dog on the chain. I'm running up stones on the edge of the bank. Rally the troops for another refrain. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm buried beneath the sand. There's no way to speak or reach out my hand. Watching the paper slowly unfold, bracing for news that I can't bear to hold. While I'm singing this song to myself, I sing this softly to myself. Tore up my jeans on the fence.
Solo date was a success. I feel like my greatest superpower is that I can do anything by myself. Like, I'm not afraid to go to a cafe by myself or live life by myself. You can't love anyone before you love yourself. And it was definitely a journey for me, but I feel like I get there more and more every day. Before we get into the books, I don't think you guys have properly met Towns. This is my angel, my absolute everything. I have had Towns for 7 years now, 6 years. I adopted him when he was a year old, and Towns is my world. Like the dog that you had when you were single and living alone in an apartment, they will have a special place in your heart forever and ever. Isn't that right, Towns? Towns has so much personality. He is basically a little human in and of itself, and I'm not afraid to admit that I am literally obsessed with him. I went a little wild and I got 4 books at the bookstore that I might not fully read before Valentine's Day, but I do plan on reading this year. I really got into romances this past summer. I was in my Emily Henry, Abby Jimenez era, and lately I have been reading solely fantasy. I'm very much in the mood to sprinkle a little romance in. We're gonna do a little synopsis of all my purchases. First up, we have Nice Work Nora November, which is actually a signed copy from this bookstore. Aw, so cute. I love signed copies. It also came with this bookmark. It says, now that Nora is not dead, only one question remains. What does she want to do with her life? In this book, our main character Nora was in a terrible surfing accident. She lands herself in a coma, but she miraculously wakes up one day. After having a second chance of life, she is determined to accomplish all the things she didn't before her accident. And she makes a whole bucket list, a reverse bucket list, if you will, of things that she's gonna do now that she's alive. And part of her bucket list is to find a guy that she met in a corner store before her accident. The premise of this one is really what caught my eye. Sometimes I like a romance to have a dash of seriousness to it, like some depth. So I chose this one for that, but it also looks really fun and looks really funny as well. Okay, next up we have The Belle of Belgrave Square. I'm not gonna lie, I picked this one up because I thought the cover was beautiful. In this book, we follow Julia. She is a London heiress and she runs off to the English countryside where she has to honor a marriage of convenience with a mysterious and reclusive stranger. This book is a Regency romance with references to fairy tales. It's supposed to reference Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty. There's also supposed to be some resemblances to the Bridgerton series, which I obviously love. It is actually a second part of a series called Bells of London, but I don't believe you have to read the first one to read this one. So I'm excited about this one. Okay, next up we have A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I wanted to read this one because I love The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip. A Novel Love Story follows our main character Eileen, who is a professor of literature. She is a homebody. She loves books. She's very excited about an annual book club retreat. On the way to the book club retreat, she finds herself stranded in a small town that really resembles a town from one of her favorite books. She realizes why she's there. It's to bring the town to its storybook ending. To me, it sounds like an adventure. It sounds like a very very easy read, and it sounds like a book that girls who love books would love to read. Okay, last up we have The Love Remedy by Elizabeth Everett. This book drew me in because it is set in a Victorian apothecary. The main character, Lucinda, an owner of the apothecary, finds that one of her salves goes missing. She hires a private investigator, which becomes her love interest. This book seems very atmospheric. It is a Victorian era romance. I love a good mystery, and I hear that there is a lot of spice. So this seems like a perfect read for the Valentine season. If you have a romance that you love and you think would be perfect to read in February, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear your recommendations, and I'd love just to start like a list so that we could all look at.
If only I could think something, run straight through to the end, close a chapter dignified. Dang girl, you did it again. But will it ever be enough when I'm bent on trying to keep it tough? Will I ever settle down, happy with the here and now? When will it ever be enough? Ever be enough? Ever be enough? If only I could build a tower, pierce right through the clouds, saxophones at every hour. Who hasn't heard of me now?
Thank you for joining me for this extra cozy, extra special Valentine self-care day. I'm gonna go cozy up for the evening to one of my favorite rom-coms, but I really hope today inspired you to do something nice for yourself this Valentine season. Remember that the love you give yourself sets the tone for the love you welcome from the world. Stay kind to your heart, and I'll see you in the next video.